On this video, we're going to show you today how to change the paper on an HP Z6810 plotter, the workhorse plotter of the GIS group at the City of Houston. We have two plotters, one for 42-inch paper and another one for 60-inch paper. The following instructions are good for either one of these plotters. The first thing you're going to do is go into the main menu, choose paper, then paper unload, and then unload roll. This will put the machine into the mode of knowing that you're going to change the paper roll for another paper roll. What the machine is going to do now is going to print a barcode that will remember all the settings for this specific roll of paper. In this case, let's say it's regular bond paper or heavy coated paper, and you can now change it for a photo quality paper. Now you can see the barcode, and you can proceed to change the roll by taking it out of the machine. First, you take out the slack from the roll. And then you lift the blue lever, first the big one and then the little one. Pull out the roll from the dark end first, and then the blue end out. Stand it on the floor and unlock it where you can see the sign of the lock. You unlock it. Then, by tapping from below, you can take out the blue tip, and then with a little bit of force, you can take out the roll, put it on the side, and get ready to get your new roll of paper. Now we're ready to put in the new roll of paper. You put it in, and you put the blue tip on it. Check the drawing, so you know on which side the sleeve of paper should be so it feeds correctly. Look at the drawing, then also look at the side where the lock is and put it on the lock position. Now, the blue end is not going to move. Now you take it towards the machine. You put in the blue end first, and then the dark end. Lower the little blue lever, and don't forget to lower also the large blue lever. At this point, you go to the main menu and you choose the paper icon, then you choose paper load, and then load roll. At this time, the machine is waiting for you to feed the paper. What you're going to do is pull all the slack in, and once the paper is tight, you just press it against the black grooved roll that is on top of your paper roll, and then just feed it slowly at the same time with both hands so the paper goes evenly in. Then, you'll feel the machine pull in the paper, and let it do its job by itself. At this point, the machine is going to try to look for the barcode on the paper. If it finds it, it's going to read it and know exactly what settings to put in for that specific paper. If you're putting a new roll in and it doesn't have a barcode, the machine will prompt you to put in the information such as paper type like coated paper or photo paper, footage, etc. If you don't know the footage, then choose unknown. Then, the machine will cut the strip of paper where the barcode is, that tells you it's ready. If for some reason you find that the paper is ripped, please do not pull at the paper. What you have to do is choose feed and cut. This button here, you press it once, and the machine will automatically feed the paper out and cut it. As you can see, now we got rid of the problem part. But if there's still some more damage, just repeat by pressing again the feed and cut button, and now the machine is ready, and you've got rid of the problem. Another thing that you can use on the large machine is this bench that you can pull out, where you can put in the heavy rolls or the long rolls. This will help you to feed it into the machine. You can always ask somebody to help you with this task. 2 people are better than 1. Just remember, if we follow these instructions, we're going to have good plotters always working, so we can continue with the demand of plots that we offer to all the city employees. Now, a word from HP on ink.
So, if it's time for me to change an ink cartridge, because in fact the printer is reporting to me that it's low, as in this case with the red ink cartridge being low on ink, I would simply press the menu key, navigate to the icon that says ink, say OK, and what I could do first of all is I could view the ink levels here, and it will let me know exactly, kind of like through a gas gauge sort of thing, how much ink is remaining. You can see red is flashing. This is the one that I'm going to be addressing today. So I say OK, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate down to replace the ink cartridge, and I'm going to say OK. So with the routine initiator from the front panel, I can go up to any of these ink cartridges, in this case red, move the blue tab down, maybe you'd heard that audible beep, and bring this forward, and I'm able to take the ink cartridge out of position. You can see that the fill ports are here on the back. I also want to point out that there are like a series of plastic tabs or fins on the ink cartridge itself that will prevent anyone from ever putting the wrong ink cartridge into the wrong spot. With a new ink cartridge in hand, it simply goes back into position and slides back in until you hear the click, and you hear the printer beep indicating that it has seen and recognized the new replacement ink cartridge. In the front panel, what we're going to do in order to initiate changing the print heads, we're going to go to the menu key. We're going to make sure that we're at the ink icon, and we're going to say OK, and we are going to replace the print heads. Now I want to tell you something before it is that I show you exactly how this looks. What I want to let you know is that once the printhead cartridge is on the platen, if it is that you were to take a phone call or be away from it, the printer will wait for 3 minutes. If it has 3 minutes of inactivity, it's going to try to pull the printhead carriage to the right into the parked position again. It's really important that when you're addressing and working with your printheads that you stay focused and get your job done. So I'm going to say replace printheads, and we'll go from here. You can tell when the printhead carriage is to the platen. We'll lift it up and we're going to have a look here. What I want to tell you, in addition to the printheads being in this area, this is also where the cutter is and where the internal spectrophotometer is housed. You can also see the ink lines that are full of ink that are continuously replenishing the printheads. Set up the procedure like this. You take this blue lever and you move it forward and disengage this galvanized colored loop. Any of the printheads can be replaced by simply lifting up the blue handle on the printhead and being direct and simply lifting out. It's important when it is that you're inserting a new printhead to never touch any of the electrical points. You can see on this surface of the printhead, you can see actually the rows of nozzles, and in this instance I can actually see which nozzles are carrying the light magenta and the light cyan ink. To insert a printhead is simply as straightforward as holding the handle, putting the printhead in position, and pressing straight down, making sure that the handle's down. Take the blue handle, pick up the galvanized loop again, Make sure that it's locked. With the printhead carriage closed, you're ready to close the lid on the printer. The printer will check to make sure that all the printheads are present. Since it is aware that I've taken out a printhead, what it's going to do next is it's going to actuate a printhead alignment that is required to make sure that my images printed are very, very sharp. Like the rest of the components of the ink system, in order to work with the maintenance cartridge, you'll start from the front panel. Going to the menu button, navigate to the icon that's representing the ink, and say OK. More towards the bottom of the list is information about the maintenance cartridge. If I say OK to this, it's going to let me know the part number, for one thing, so when it's time for me to reorder this consumable. It's showing me, in this case, that the status of my maintenance cartridge is OK, but it's showing me a percentage. And what this percentage is it's indicating to me how full is the cartridge. Unlike the other portions of the ink system, you change this component, the maintenance cartridge, when it is 100% full, meaning that it can't take any more fluid from maintaining the ink system. What I'll do now is I will go down and navigate to replace the maintenance cartridge and say OK. It moves the printhead carriage to the left and it brings forward the maintenance cartridge that I can access by opening this panel here. What I'll do is I'll lift, push, and lift, and I'll bring this forward. Now for sure what I want to tell you is that this might look ooky, okay? It contains liquid, so you're going to want to keep it nice and flat. It's valuable for you to keep a tip or a trick in mind, that when you have a new maintenance cartridge coming in, it comes in a Mylar bag. Open up that Mylar bag carefully, and then you can put this used maintenance cartridge directly back into the bag that you've just emptied, and that way it'll make managing this component very tidy and not messy at all. So this is a brand new maintenance cartridge. It comes with a plastic protective cover on it. I'll just lift up the tape, take this off, and it's ready to go. You can see this one is nice and tidy. Here are the wiper area. Here's the area where the printheads will be capped while I'm not using the printer. And here's an area that can be used for expressing droplets. Based on the information on the printer, it's actually helping me along as usual with a little video about what to do. It's letting me know that it's time to replace the maintenance cartridge and just close the right door. So this is going to go straight in. I'll hear a little snap. It's nice and tidy, ready to close it up. It's important to understand that the print head and all the components of the ink system actually have warranties connected to them. If a consumable is out of warranty, it's going to give a message that it's expired. Here's something that I need you to know. If either a print head or an ink cartridge is expired, it doesn't mean that it's not working well. It doesn't mean that it's time to replace it. What it means is that if that component of the ink system fails, it just won't be replaced as a warranty part. Continue to use those print heads and ink cartridges until they fail. Expired in the world of DesignJet ink doesn't mean that it's spoiled. It's not milk. It's completely ready to go. It's simply out of warranty.
Always remember, once you use the cutter, leave the blades at one of the ends of the cutter. Very important. Now, with the print, what you want to do is slide it underneath the plastic guide. Then, you'll choose the top using the guide as to where you want to cut the paper. You can use the side grid. Once you cut, leave the blade at the end of the table. Repeat the process if needed on all four sides. Check check the length on the top and on the side using the grid every time you cut on all 4 sides. It's good to make a note that you want to cut only one piece of paper at a time, not 3, not 4, this could make the blade jump off the rail. Once you do your final cut, check it with the grid and on the top area you cut. Leave the blade on the end, especially once you're finished and you're done cutting your map.